Good evening. Welcome to WooTube. My name's Baran Woo. How are we all doing tonight? Good? Just realised I have myself coming into my ear in a weird kind of delay. Quite freaky. Yeah, hope everyone's doing well. We're still experiencing some pretty warm weather. It's very hot in the office today. I'm pretty aware that people on the other side of the globe are facing like torrential downfall of winter. But yeah, don't know. I guess weather's on my mind. The daily question in GLC today was design a weather-related card. I should have had that up here. I quite liked. In fact, I've quite liked my two answers to daily questions recently. I find, I don't know about you, I find like the rest of GLC is God. There's a lot of stuff. I can't keep up with it, so I just tune into daily question every now and then and try and come up with a normally slightly witty answer. Quite liked my one yesterday. It was design a new directive for Adam, because Adam's obviously going soon. And my directive was essentially based on the idea that robots are meant to preserve their own life but not damage anyone else's, like in retaliation. And so, what was it? It was like directive, so it was like zero install, free influence, all that like malarkey. And then it said once a turn, or I think the first time a turn you trash one of your installed cards, you may put it on the bottom of your deck instead of trashing it. And then it's like its negative thing was apparently I've got some audio issues. Okay, let's how bad are we talking here? Let's bring it's very odd today. Okay, yeah, give me a second to work this one out. Maybe it's this. Okay. Oh, wow, what is my mic doing? It's got a bit weird. I feel like maybe, just a second, is this actually picking up the correct mic? All right, this is fine. It's not like I've ever had. Okay, this is apparently on the right microphone. Okay, 2. Let's just try. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's got like a weird. There's something quite odd going on here, and I'm not quite sure. Okay, let's just. What we'll do is we'll do a bit of stuff on the fly. We will take that off. We'll take that off. We'll put that back on. Okay, so how does it sound now? This is very much on the fly. This is all great, like it's all great material right here. You know, if it was possible to go in and sort this kind of stuff out in post, don't let me know that it actually is, because then I've got to actually do it. Okay, hopefully that kind of sort things out. If it doesn't, then let me know. If it still goes a bit bonkers. Decent, I'll take decent, and I'll kind of look into what's going on there. Maybe we can try. No, that looks worse. So we'll go with that. We'll just go with that, and I'll try and keep. Basically, I've kind of taken my compressor off, which is normally a bad thing, but it's good now. Okay, we'll go with good now. Good now is good enough for me. Cool. Thanks, chat. I missed a question from Axu. Opinion on pie charts versus bar charts. I would say that. Wait, I can do it. So I would say that pie charts. Oh, this is harder than I thought. Okay, it's not going to work. Yeah, I was going to try and do like a pie chart with a great big orange circle on the wall behind me. But that's not gonna. That was much harder than I expected it to be. I thought I'll be able to just like stick my hands up and make a pie chart. Maybe I can. Like... There we are. That's the percentage of people that believe pie charts are better than bar charts. That was going to be the joke. I still couldn't get it on camera. Yeah. So all good content so far. I'll put a marker here. Right, sorry. I want to try to explain what my idea for an Adam directive was, because I thought it was quite good, and you can decide if it's busted or not. So it was normal directive stuff, and then the first time each turn you trash one of your install cards, you may put it on the bottom of your deck instead of trashing it, instead of putting it in the bin, whatever the correct term for that is. Is that trashing it? And then it said any time a card is trashed, or any time a card like would hit your bin, would go into archives, it is removed from game. Yeah, I think that's quite cool. Like really sort of potentially risky rig shooter, but like kind of fun. I don't know. Maybe super busted. Maybe like just good. I mean, it's too late now. Adam's gone pretty much. But we will look. I think I'm going to look at just doing like a load of streams with some of the micro factions, mini factions, before they kind of all disappear. But yeah, today it was like design a card based around weather, and mine was a Go team reference, which was Thunder, Lightning, Strike. And you did like an APOC run all 3 servers, and then you got to de-res 1 piece of ice. You got to trash 1 piece of unresed ice, and make a run on a server. I think that's quite cool as a like once APOC goes type card. But there we go. That's all my ideas for the week. So let's like look at some, well, not news, but this is the Bristol Startup, which is happening, Startup CO, which is happening in a few weeks now. It's happening on the, who writes dates like this? Oh, my word. It's happening on, let's bring up the, so I can actually see it. Oh my word, what's going on with calendars? Like, why can I not understand? I can't understand dates anymore. 7th, the 8th of the 7th. That's the right way around, right? Whatever's the Saturday. Saturday, the 8th of July. So yeah, about 3 weeks time. Come and play some startup in Bristol. It will be good fun. Obviously, no ban list. Don't forget you can still play boat. Blah blah blah. That might be a good thing. That might be a bad thing. But yeah, it'll be really good fun. It's also Pride that weekend, so if you want to come, and there'll be a lot of like partying going on. I don't know whether I'll be like partying all night because I've got a kid in it, but other than that, it'll be lots of fun. Some reason Victoria Jenkins is suddenly all over the place. There's 2 Victoria Jenkins lists which have been published in the last like week, which I just find like kind of really interesting, kind of really fun. Did make me consider putting Victoria Jenkins into an ob list where A, you can pull your one of Victoria Jenkins, and B, you have cards like Anvil and Stavka that could trash the Victoria Jenkins before the Corp gets to trash it themselves. So I'm gonna squirrel that away into my little brain, and we'll probably do something along those lines at some point, because that sounds like a lot of fun. Also, like, this is 5 to trash. Like, it's not actually that bad. Like, I know it's like you're putting extra agenda points into your deck, which is almost always a bad thing, but it's not easy to steal a Bologna, and that's kind of what you do. I guess you can like imp this, and then you immediately get the 2 points. So maybe. And then I mentioned this deck last week. So this was Norpool 3000 deck, which was a Lat Bankard deck. And Ard suggested to Norpool that maybe like this could be a good Kushuk deck. They disagreed, gave me really good reasons that it wouldn't work, and I ignored all of those. And today we're going to be playing a Kushuk deck. Oh yeah. Let's do this so that you can see. So I'm actually pretty excited to do this tonight because I'm playing Shaper. And the crazy thing is that I like associate, I guess, as a Shaper player. I like the kind of engine building side of things in Netrunner, and when it comes to deck building, and I like to build like pretty big sort of engines which have like good late game, but I very rarely play Shaper currently, like certainly in a competitive format, because I'm just going to listen to how my kind of sound is here. It's okay, right? Because they're kind of not that good, right? Like obviously, Whiteblade put up his Aesop's deck a little while back, and that did really well, and it is like pretty well kind of tuned to the current meta, and there's good reasons to play Shaper there. But you play Shaper and you just realize that you've got like very little early game pressure, and so that's what I kind of, the times when I most enjoy playing Shaper is when I feel like I can instill some early game pressure, which really forces the corp into doing something, into pushing them sort of in a different way. So my thoughts after seeing Njorpool's deck were that Bankar is a super strong card. I've kind of thought that from the start. I've played lots and lots of decks which run anything up to often 3 copies of Bankar, even like out of faction. It's a very good card. And Bankar is a 1-cost card, so that's something to bear in mind. And it's something which will pretty much always allow us to get through some ice. So we can kind of tie it into making runs when maybe we might not necessarily normally be able to afford to. And what I was thinking is that actually in the last like 2 sets or whatever, there's been a load of things released particularly for Shaper, and they all cost 1. We've got Telework Contract. That's a 1-cost money thing. Good. We got Dr. Nuka, which is a 1-cost draw thing. That's good. We have Propeller, which is a 1-cost barrier breaker. That's good. You could obviously play Palangi, which is one of my favorite cards in the game. I think this is like a super powerful card when it wants to be. You have got Hush, which is a new one. Obviously, this isn't a Shaper card, but this is best in decks where you can kind of pull this out of nowhere with Simul Chips and SMCs and things like that. This is a 1-cost card, which is excellent, and particularly as this deals with one of the biggest issues which I had. So I've played a lot of Kushuk decks in the past because I've always enjoyed it. I find it's like a really fun challenge of like forcing you to deck build in a slightly different way. Because it also taught me the code on Netrunner DB for cost because I played like Kushuk deck so much. I have it stapled into my head that O, like capital O and a colon, is like cost. Can't remember what any of the other things are. I think like most of them make sense. They're like, text is T or something. I don't actually know. But I know O is cost. I'll get to that in a second, actually, because I'm not 100% sure, but I think the nanotech is right. And one of the reasons I stopped playing Kushuk decks was that people would just put border controls on R&D, and your deck loses because you can't do the, like you can't Kushuk if they've got a border control, because they're just going to pop the border control. So then you need to have like 2 Kushuks, and like you're spending all of your turns getting like 1 Kushuk off, and Kushuks do not always land. So, so this is like one of the biggest reasons I thought, actually, now we have a way of kind of turning that off. And you'd say, yeah, but how do you know that it's a border control? I'll tell you what, if you've got an idea that there might be a border control on R&D, you can normally have a pretty good guess at where it is and just stick the hush on an upside down piece of ice, on a face down piece of ice. Also, I might just start running more hushes, because this card, I've been playing it in my Hashiko deck with all the symbol chips. Great. I've been playing it in here, and I think this card, I was already high on it. I was like big on it. Like, I thought it was pretty powerful and pretty fun when it first came out. Even more so now. Like, I've been playing against outfits and just putting it on their unresed ice and watching them have to res like a bulwark for 10 without getting the rebate and not gaining the bad pub, so it's not like getting them closer to being able to fast advance out. Like, it's great against like all green decks. Like, think of every ob deck that is currently playing, and pretty much every single one of their ice does something. Like, you can put it on the face down ice that they've put on archives, which you know is a Formicary. It's always a Formicary. And then they can't res the Formicary. You can put it on their border controls. You can stick it on their Ashars, which are on HQ. It does stuff to Jinteki ice. You just have to put it out on face down ice against Jinteki, because then it's probably in an enemy and they're going to res it and it's not going to do anything, or so they just don't res it, and then you're like, right, great. Or it's an Anansi, and then it doesn't matter if you bank off it. It's really, really good. Like, it's a little bit worse in purple matchups. And there was one game where my opponent had the perfect hand of, I'd managed to put a hush on a border control, and so they had the res border control, and I carried on, and this was on a Kushuk run. And I was like, ha 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 ha, I have a hush. And then they res the magnet, which obviously for the next turn, not a problem. But right then, pulls the hush off the border control. And I didn't have a symbol check to reset it with. Anyway, hush versus gatekeeper is excellent, exactly. Hush versus gatekeeper, when you're like, you pull out a Eula and you break their freshly resed gatekeeper for 0. It's like busted good. So a few things with this deck. We're also on symbol chips, which are another 1 cost. Essentially, we're almost always like Kushuking off 1 costers. Interestingly, Hush versus Gatekeeper takes a bit less skill / luck than you would think, because the game 6 isn't like an on-res ability. It's like, if you res it this turn, it's got 6 more. So even if you put a Hush on it after they've resed it, it's still 0. Yeah, you don't want to put it face down on a Biroid unless you think that you can break it. So that's why it's worse in the purple matchups. But I think in the purple matchups, you should just be face checking the ice anyway. And especially like once you've got a bank card down, you can just like run into all of their ice like head first, and you're fine. So we've got some other things in here which are really good for the current meta. We have Misdirection, which is excellent. Lots of people on Asmari, they're going to give you 4 tags. Lots of people on Ob, they're going to give you 4 tags. Lots of people are on Outfit, they're going to give you 4 tags. Um, we've got Clot, which is great against a lot of things currently. Pretty much every purple deck, every outfit deck, most other green decks, even, except for sort of Man in the Moon Ob style, and a load of other stuff as well. Hush deals with like all of your yellow ice as well, so you don't have to worry about anything. Great. And then the rest of it is just sort of value. We've got DJ Fenris, obviously, so that we can play like 5 Kushuks. That's super powerful. I was originally playing this deck with several copies of not AR enhanced security. That's a corp agenda. Harmony AR therapy, which is a card which I have used in the past to good effect, and it wasn't necessary. I was like, I need some like recursion so that I can just like bankar through stuff, and it did make it like a bit safer to just bankar through everything. But the deck just felt a bit slow. It's felt much better since I took them out. And that's about it. So Axu did ask about Nanotech versus Echelon. I think that because like a lot of the time, like we don't actually have many breakers out, because Bankar is our like one breaker, and then we maybe have like one or two others, and you'll see like most of the time, like I'm breaking with Bankar and I get out a Propeller and a Palangi, and that's like kind of it until like really into the late game. Maybe a Eula. The Nanotech only comes down when we've got like big ice servers. Now the big card that's missing from here is obviously like the most broken card that hasn't been banned yet, from Parhelion, which is Turbine, and it should be in here, and I should just play 46 cards. I might just put it in now, but there's also a consideration to try and get Leech in instead, because Leech is a 1-cost card. So the slot where it would go would be instead of this Fermenter, which like leaves us with 1 influence, which could be, I don't know, someone come up with a good 1 influence card, preferably one which costs 1 to install. I mean, we could just put a sneaky run, not Pinhole. Yes, Pinhole. That is the card. We could just put a Pinhole in here, and maybe not die to a variety of different things. But I like with Bankar, I don't really want to hold like lots of stuff in my hand, so I don't think that's right. But I guess I should like deuces. Yeah, single deuces. It's like absolutely fine. We could put an Amakua in actually. Like Turtle plus Leech, probably like plus Bankar is like a breaking engine. I'm also tempted to take the Ngolo out. I don't know if I've installed it yet. I've like very rarely needed it. We might play this as is for at least one game. It struggles when it starts to have to like break stuff properly, and I've like it kind of struggles because you often have to boost your propeller to like get through the border controls, which if you had like a turbine down you wouldn't, and so my propeller tokens tend to run out a little bit fast. We could even just play like a second propeller. It's always kind of like it's not a dead card because it's a 1 cost, so it just building up stuff. Other than that, we got like DZMZs, so we can install all the stuff for 0. We've got Pantograph, so we can install stuff on the corpse turn. And that's the rest. Like the Into the Depths, I have liked but could cut. It feels kind of good with Bankar because like you can be pretty sure that you're getting through. But maybe that's where a slot comes if we want to find a slot. I think everything else is just like kind of correct. Like it's for breakers, it's like whether we need Ngolo, so we need to look out for that. It's whether we should be on Nanotech or the other one, Echelon, or if there's anything else. I mean, there's nothing for like 1 influence that we can play here, right? unless we took out the fermenter and we played an MK Ultra. Probably bad. I guess like getting for a single drafter. Eka, I do like Eka. I kind of forgot about Eka. Eka's probably better. Why am I not playing Eka? Why am I not playing Eka? I might just put Eka in. I think that might be the correct option here. I guess like Eka's probably fine as long as we stick with the Ngolo, right? Because then we've always got like a backup. Because our simul chips do get taxed. But I think you might be right. Although it's like horrendous against like multiple former carry, but then we're taking one. I might put an Eka in. I think that might be better. But we shall see. It deals with Anansi pretty well. Yeah, it probably does win, even if you move it a bit. It's like sometimes the nanotech's proven pretty good, like in the late game, because that's when it is good. But Eka into Bridgman PE. Yeah, well, let's just not play against Bridgman PE. We are runner tonight, streaming illegally on Twitch and YouTube. Can't spell illegally. How do you spell illegally? Illegally? Yeah. I've just Axu had to play Eka into Bridgman PE. That is rough. If you're not familiar with Bridgman PE, it has like 14 ice and 12 of them are centuries, something like that. Can't quite remember, but yeah, like 12 centuries and 9, 10, 11, maybe 11 centuries and two code gates, and that's it. But yeah, it's fine, right? We'll just bank our through and turn their net damage subroutines into net damage subroutines. But yeah. Any other such? If you've got any other ideas for one cost cheap on influence slots here as well, then let me know, because I think I've kind of covered all the good ones. I did for a very brief moment, and it was very brief, consider Mache, and then I remembered that that's a terrible idea. Although against specifically Man in the Moon Ob, Mache might have might actually do some work. And on the turn where you just want to like draw an absolute ton of cards so that you can like Kushuk 3 times in the turn and hopefully win the game, maybe there's a place for Mache. Probably not, no. It's a very bad card. But you know, if we win some games, then we'll put some more jank in. But yeah, I think I've got all the good one cost stuff. Like I consider Mantle, but I don't think it does enough. We're not playing any other stealth. I'd love I guess that one other influence if we did drop the Fermenter for a leech. I'd love a flip switch. Just like you can stunt on so many things with flip switch. It's like technically a bad card, but yeah. Anyway, in the good news, I've been really enjoying just playing Shaper and playing a Shaper that feels like it does something, and it does something very proactively. It doesn't just sit back and sort of build up an engine and wait. I mean, we are building up an engine here, but we have like this card just gives us so much pressure, which is excellent. And as long as you install your symbol chips, then you don't really mind. Like you install Fenris on site, and you install your symbol chips, and then everything else kind of doesn't really matter. You just go with it as it is. Here we go. Okay, PE. Is it Bridgman PE? We'll find out. Well, we got 3 symbol chips in our opening hand. Hey, but I think that's probably a pretty bad hand. Okay. We're also going to try and get our lat trigger every turn. Unfortunately, we are like Kushuk is really good against PE because we kind of just want to steal very specific agendas. But we are going to have to install the one costers to make that work. So I am going to install Bankar, even if it seems like a terrible idea. So we can do this. We can install a Bankar. We can do that. They don't do anything, so we can draw a card. I mean, this is probably just House of Knives at worst. Doesn't seem to be a Rashida, so Nuka's really good here. That's like pretty. Oh, it is the Rashida. Fine. That's like we're gonna probably keep a counter on here, so we'll potentially use it. But like one thing that I think is like quite important about playing lat is actually not using draw cards when you don't need to, if it will stop you getting your lat draw. It's kind of how I feel. So here I think we're actually going to draw, put down Nuka, play a creative commission unless we draw into anything else. We'll do Bankar on this server just so that we look like we're threatening to run it. We'll draw. We probably don't need Propeller. We'll draw again. Gamble's fine. We'll go Nuka, creative. Make sure they don't res a Spin Doctor. And then we'll draw. Sting. Did we lose the Hush? I really wanted that Hush. That is a shame. Right, Nasek. So they're a Bladderwort deck? I assume. Like, that's the only reason to play Naseks in PE, right? Right, let's draw some cards. Okay, Fermentor's good. Kushik is good, but not yet. I think we trash this Naseks because I don't want them to have the ability to duck money / make money. And then I'll just put down the Fermentor and take a credit and then draw a card. Pantograph could be good here. PE assets. Yeah, I mean, it looks like PE assets deck, but maybe it just had a bad start, right? I didn't actually check if they did they mulligan? They did mulligan, so maybe it's just bad. This is interesting. Most things we're actually fine with here because Kushuk kind of avoids them. So if it's something like a Pricek, are we running here? Maybe we shouldn't have called server 1 here because if they res an Ike or a Tive, it's going to do more damage than not. I think I'm going to check HQ. Because if they fire off a snare here, then that's like kind of fine for us. Like if we hit one, we'll go and deal with whatever this is, and then we can always draw up with Nuka. So if they're thinking here, then it might mean that this is a prana. And if it's a prana, then we definitely don't want to run into server 1 with Bankar. That would be an error. Let's just make sure that I haven't disconnected. Okay, we see a Tive. I think we install the pantograph and click for 1. And draw a card. Okay, Rashida. Maybe should have gone and gotten it. Subliminal. Did P assets have subliminal? Can't remember. Okay, they're starting to ice up. They now have 8 credits, which actually makes everything like far scarier to run. I think I'd probably go and check what this is. I'm gonna put down the. We're gonna call NOSO with that. I'm gonna put down the symbol chip first because that is like potentially incredibly important. Warroid. Do we trash a Warroid now? For like 8. For like a horrible amount of credits. 7 credits. It's potentially better to do it now. Before it has stuff on it that I need to deal with, right? We'll just kind of try to recover a bit. Got a fermenter for some recovery at some point. I'm gonna again put, yeah, I think it's worth a trash because also if they put a second Warroid on it, then we're absolutely boned. 6 credits now. Could run one of these. I have 7. Do I need to crack this first? Technically do if I want to run it in case. Well, I guess I'll run it, and then if it's a Warroid, then I don't trash it. I should have. Yeah, I'm going to trust in Essex. I'm going to draw 1, take 1, I think is fine. Getting a little bit poor here. Might have to crack the fermenter. That's going to be bad. Ugh. Okay. They're on 5. That is a huge issue. We lost a Kushuk. Yes, I can move the chat window. I haven't put it back to this. Wait, bam. How's that? That's kind of better. I might just move a bit further across. Sweet. Wow. Okay, they're on 5 points, which is actually a massive issue. I think we're going to call R&D in case we happen to pull a Kushuk off here. We don't. I think I've got to crack this fermenter, right? Before next turn they purge. I could put down the Aesops. Kind of fine. Let's draw again. I think I just put down the Aesops. I'll probably take a credit. Throw out the Clot. Feels not great. I think I would purge here. Especially as they had Subliminal. And get like 2 turns of Subliminal credits if we don't run. Okay, what's their ice going to be? Their ice. And do we have an SMC in a bin? We don't have an SMC in a bin. So that sucks. See, if one of these is a prana, so I want to run with Bankar, one of these places. But if one of these is a prana, then that is awful for us. Guess I guess I could pop this and then install the Ngolo. That might be fine. Let's call server 5 here. We're not going to ASOPs anything, unfortunately. So, crack fermenter. Install Ngolo for a lot of credits. Like so many credits. But I think the worst thing here is... I guess I go server 1 with the Into the Depths, right? But I haven't called Bankar on it. Let's see what they got. Okay, they haven't res the prana, which is good for us. They also are short on money. Will boost and break. Annoyingly, they can still res an Ike and a tithe. And a tithe is actually a problem. We'll gain 4 and install an Ika actually. Sounds pretty good. I don't think... Or I charge the Nuka. I think I install an Ika. Blood in the water. Steel. Let's try and keep the diesel. So we want to not install anything. We don't keep the diesel. Okay. So I could run here. If it's a sting, I die. If they have a blood in the water in the hand, I die. If it's any other agenda and they don't specifically have a blood in the water, then I might be alright. I think it's somewhat too risky there. Okay, we could Kushik next turn. They have blood and waters, which are like a really good Kushik target. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at... this would be 6. I think we have to check this. Okay, they now have snare money, which is annoying. Do we want to sell anything? No. Let's do no server. We're not going to pawn anything. I want to get this down first because I kind of don't want to lose it. No, I can't. Okay. Do we put the Ika on the Tithe? It'll cost us 2 and then 1 to break. Yes, we do. So no. Okay. Can't fire a snare. Keeling. We probably have to trash, right? So now I think we just click this, take a credit, draw a card. Plangy's good. Plangy plus Propeller gets us through like a lot of stuff very cheaply. This looks horrendous. We might have to run it. Do I have to check archives now in case of Regenesis? Like 2 pointers, they're probably only on Blood in the Water, right? But if we want... I think I'm all. I mean, yeah, kind of, but I don't want to pay the money to move it right now. I think we're okay. Let's call R&D. We'll not trash anything. So the problem is when I run, I want to be able to steal an oboe. So I think I check archives here. Could steal an oboe now. I lose a kushuk. I can do this and then draw 3 times. And if that is a blood in the water, then we lose. Or I can leave the oboe. Or I can leave the oboe. Try and kushuk for specifically a blood in the water. Probably only on 1 or 2. Oh, I think I have to steal the oboe. I lose a kushuk and a palangi, both of which I like. I could draw 2. Well, I might as well draw 2 and then take money. Oh, no, I take 5. Yeah. Right. PE. Lol. Okay. Don't steal the oboe. So we have to still make the run. But at least we're stopping the regenesis. So I feel like this is a regenesis. So do we go and try and steal the regenesis? No action. Like install Palangi run. Palangi just deals with like so many things so much cheaper. Do we Palangi this? Maybe we Palangi this and then break it with. It also is another thing that we can potentially just trash if we need to. So I feel like we're going to get in here and have to trash something. This is going to be a tie and we're going to be upset. Actually, we're more upset. Okay. If it's an odd number, end the run. Well, it's going to end the run, isn't it? This costs us 3 credits to break, and then we're not going to be able to trash whatever is in here. That sucks. Wow, that sucks. I think it must be worth breaking. It must be worth checking because I think this is a regenesis. Okay, we lost the Euler. That's fine. It's a Reaper function, which we can trash. That's good to know. No action there. Take money. Draw a card with that. Woo! Okay. Reaper function's a bit disgusting here, isn't it? Roy tracker into Reaper. Ugh. Gross. What do they do? They just take money. Game 1, install a card. Probably a spin doctor, right? Maybe not. Can we kushuk yet? So this could be a Hokusai grid. Oh, sorry. I probably whacked that microphone pretty hard. Apologies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we could afford to ASOPs this telework. We're going to call R&D here. We're going to ASOPs this. We're going to draw. That's fine. We're going to draw. I think we just keep kind of setting up. I am tempted because what I really need a nuker to like I want a nuker so that I've got the ability to like draw a ton of cards before we Kushuk. Oh, that's probably a mistake. If that's a Reaper function, then they... Okay, it was the spin. So that's a good read. Well, I guess drawing till we had 5 and then running archives, probably not that good in reality. This is quite fun now. Oh, okay. Well, actually, you were right. They did do it. This is actually that's fine. So we've still got Palangi. We've still got Ingolo. We'll do casts. We'll bank our server 5, which feels like a risk, but it's fine. We're not going to ASOPs anything. We're going to draw. We're going to do this. We're going to run. Yeah, I don't like symbol chipping because at the moment we've got Palangi out, so we don't need the Ika. This feels rough if this is like anything bad. No. We'll make it a code gate. We'll break it. I think we still go in here. If it's a 1-pointer, we can draw 1 and still draw 1 more card. Ladder War. We trash it. And then we take a credit. And we draw a card. Okay, we are losing our Kushuks at a mighty fine rate here, which is not the best. So we kind of need to find our Steve. Do we want to sell the Palangi? Are we going to make a run this turn? Because the important thing is that we don't actually sell it until... No, we can do that because we can install a misdirection to sell next turn. So that's fine. We're going to call HQ. We're going to sell the Palangi. We're going to draw. There's a Kushuk. So that's quite good. So we'll draw 1 more time. That's excellent. Okay, we'll put down a misdirection. So next turn, we're going to land a Kushuk. It's going to happen. Because we can diesel Kushuk. Obviously, if they stick something in this server, then we might have to deal with that. They stick something in the server. They stick 2 things in the server. Ugh. That feels bad. I think we're still going for the Kushuk play here. So I need to sell this so that I can pull back. We're going to call R&D. We're going to go diesel. Oh, now we need to put down our... So this is actually a problem because I need to put down a DJ Fenris before we Kushuk. Because if we lose Fenris, then we probably lose the game. I mean, we're probably lost the game anyway. Like, I'm not even sure what we're excited to steal here. If we do steal, I guess we have. Do we have 1 more? No. So I've got to put it down. Steve. I'm still going to go for it. I'm hoping they have like another blood in the water. which they may do. This feels like a Hokusai grid. Tithe. So, do we get back to Ika or do we get back to Pelangi? I think we get back to Pelangi to keep our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll do Kogates. We'll break it with this. Yes, I could have used the pay on this, but money is going to be a thing. Quite an important thing. Yeah, Hokusai. Sucks to be me. Wow, that's a big old whiff for a deck which has a lot of agendas in it. I guess we trash the Spin Doctor? Actually, no. It's probably the thing to trash, right? We haven't actually seen many spins yet. Chances that this one face down card is, well, I guess any agenda actually. This is a Regenesis. I also should keep more than 3 cards in hand in case this is a Blood in the Water. Don't think it is, so just gonna not believe that it is. Ugh. Where's my one copy of Because I Can? Okay, they're setting up like dual servers now. Now we're in serious issues. Whatever's going on here, one of these is an agenda, one of them is something disgusting, and it's not good for us. We'll probably have to run HQ. Chances that this is a snare are pretty high. Let's Aesops this one. God, I thought I clicked the wrong one there for a second. Do we bank carve the ice here in case it's a diviner? I guess so. Let's run HQ. At least if they don't wait, which way round is it? Like, if they res, okay, so we know that this isn't a snare, so that's good. Nope. Axu, I'm not gonna point out how bad Ika is in this matchup compared to us having nanotech, because I feel like you did point out that it would be really bad against certain PE decks, so it's not totally on you. But my word, were you right? Wow, we are nearly out of deck. I probably just need money here. Is this going to be a sting? It's a moon pool. I think I've got to trash that. Wow. Well, that sucks. Yeah, you did. You did. That's why I'm gonna let you off on that account. One of these is a bladderwort, right? This is a bladderwort in server 5. We all think this is a bladderwort. I'm pretty sure. So I could just run it and trash the bladderwort and trash 2 cards when they res. Ugh. They did pull back the oboe, I assume. Yeah, they did. I guess the telework is actually better than the creative here. Let's draw. Play a telework. Click a telework. Let them do their thing. good thing is that whilst HQ is like empty, we can at least run it for Steve. Problem is we've got to draw like a ton of cards before we can steal an oboe off a Kushuk. And we don't have a ton of cards left to actually get. Like we only have 5 cards left to draw. One of them is a Nuka, which I would have really liked to have by now. Now drawing a Nuka is going to feel a little bit like too little too late. I guess we could install her, leave 3 in hand. Right, so I think we have to now get an Eka onto the Tithe. So we sell the Palangi. I guess we can sell the Bankar at some point as well. Like, because it's going to be really bad in this matchup, apart from against maybe Diviner. Let's do that. We'll find our Eka. Paste it here. We'll run HQ. We probably need to get our Simmel chips back here, which is a bit of a shame, but probably has to happen. At least Eka now gets through HQ for 1 credit. So probably the best breaker, as long as we only have to encounter this 1 Tithe. Didn't res anything here, so this isn't Bladderwort. None of these are Bladderwort. So one of them's probably Doctor, everyone's favourite Doctor, and one of them is probably a Reaper function. What's happening here? I forgot to scroll chat. I should be through. Yeah, I think we're probably getting 2 Simmel chips back, and we'll be really sad if we hit a snare and immediately lose a Simmel chip. Quick test. Da, da, da. It's certainly not looking great for us, is it? Like them getting the Regenesis off early. Feels like it kind of sucked. Well, we probably have to trash that from HQ, even though I'm mostly sure that one of these is exactly that card. I think we can afford to play. No, I can't afford to actually lose the Simmel chip because it's incredibly important. So the problem is here they like click up for credits, and then next turn they can start resin the Keeling, which is in one of these servers, probably 5. Okay, Spin Doctor. They know we're going to run HQ anyway, so I think this is Spin Doctor. So we're going to run it. We might as well sell this at this point. We're not selling anything else. We'll run server 6. Oh, whoops. Well, we'll run server 6. Tiny chance that we should run HQ first. Oh, it's a Reaper function. It's a Reaper function which they didn't put into these servers. So there is stuff in these. Oh, is one of these a moon pool? Is that an issue? It's not an issue as long as HQ is HQ is empty. No, I think here. Do I bring back a Diesel here so that next turn I possibly could Kushuk? Because Because I'm going to start running out of stuff soon. I think it's probably just money. So, what can we bring? I guess we could go Nuka Telework. I'm kind of happy with either of those. Give them an actual decision to make. They give us a Nuka. We'll put down a Nuka, and I think we need to keep like 4 cards in hand. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can. We better just clear. We're better for just clicking for a credit and selling one of these, right? I guess we could sell our bank car. I'm just going to click for a credit. Oh, dang. I was going to say, I guess we lose, but maybe we're not losing. Maybe they're just scoring out a Regenesis, which kind of makes sense. It looks like... It looks like that's all that's happening here. Okay. We run HQ first, right? Did we get our money? Panto didn't fire. Not gonna install. Just +1C. I'm pretty sure Pantograph didn't fire, right? No. Okay. So we can run HQ. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we could just sell the bank car. We'll sell the bank car. We'll run HQ. Do we get the Kushiks here is the real big question. Are we into that state yet? Not sure if we are. We'll trash their Bladder Wart. We'll draw a card. We want to keep at least 3 cards, otherwise this Nuka does nothing. So we'll play a gamble and we'll take a credit. And then I think next turn we Kushuk. Ugh, okay. Well, maybe. Ugh. Well, that's disgusting. We probably have to run this. How do we get through here? It's interesting. Move this. There'll be 3 credits, so we should run HQ first. So we run HQ. We probably just pull back like a life point. Not going to sell anything. I could sell the Pantograph at this point, but I think we're still going to get at least a credit's value out of it. So I don't think we do. So we'll run HQ first while the Eka is here. I think just probably just some generic money. Oh, Into the Depths might have been better actually. No, I guess we're not really looking to install any other programs. We don't really want to charge anything. So now we run. Do we need to bang one of these first? If that's a sting, pretty horrible. Oh, we can pop back with Nuka actually. We could pay 3. I think we pay 3 and keep the Ika here. This is where we definitely need our we need our turbine, I guess. Okay, it's fine. We'll see this card. Wall to wall. Do I let him have a wall to wall? I don't think I can trash it. Bad though. They get a ton of draw off that. This Hokusai is a problem. I can draw one more card, and after that, I need to save the last 3 for a burst draw from Nuka. I guess I probably need to sell my propeller and bring back Palangi. It's going to be an issue. I'm not sure I'm winning this one. I'm gonna, because to win it, I have to steal an oboe, and I have to. So to steal an oboe, I need 6 cards. Like that's like basically all the cards I have, and I need to run HQ first. And it's just going to be brutal, and I probably have to check what that is. I could sell the pantograph. I don't think I want it quite yet. If I find a blood, yeah, but I'm worried that they're only on 1 blood. If they're on a single blood, then we're in like quite a lot of trouble. If I sell that, then I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, I don't really want to sell anything here. So I can run HQ, hit Nuka, Kushuk. And then maybe check this. So I check this first. Let's run HQ first. Just not totally sure that I can actually Kushuk yet, which really sucks. They are on another blood. Okay, okay. There is now a slight chance that we can actually win. We're not going to install anything. Did we get? We did get our pantograph credit. So now, next turn. Okay, that's bad, but we also had to get that. Oh, that's quite bad. Okay. Can we steal an oboe now? We have 4 cards. I think we can steal exactly an oboe, right? So now we can sell the pantograph because we don't need it anymore. So we run HQ. We'll gain. No, we need 1 more card. We need to run HQ this turn for a hit point card because we need to be able to get rid of. We need to be able to deal with the Hokusai as well. Before dying. They also just are making a Regenesis play. So is there a chance that we can actually win without the oboe now? One of these is an agenda, but one's probably a spin doctor. I think they've just chucked a sting into archives. Yeah, I think it might be HQ R&D archives, and then potentially running server 1 if this turns out to be a spin in server 8. No. Okay. So Hushuk here, we're going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to see a full Hushuk. We get through this. How do we get through this? With this. I'm going to fully break it. I don't want them to have the credit here. Going to see 6. Piss and tits. Do we kill the spin doctor? Is it worth it? Is it worth killing the spin doctor? Do we just access the oboe to like feel bad for ourselves? I'm gonna need money, so I think I'm just gonna access the subliminal. Do nothing. We're gonna check archives. See if they. Gross. We should have run archives before R&D. So this must be a spin doctor. So this, one of them's a Regenesis, or they're really clever and they're both 1-point agendas, which is very likely. Okay, which of these is more likely to be the spin doctor? Server 1, right? If you put a spin doctor and a 1-pointer out here, you put the spin doctor in server 1. And you put the 1-pointer in server 8. Right? Do you? If we pay to go in through here, this is free, this is free. Credits, that is. Like, we probably can't play the rest of the game anyway. So I'm going to go with server 8 being the agenda. We probably die to a Reaper function. It's a moon pool, which we have to trash. Server 1's the 1-pointer. Bladder War, pretty bad. Oh my gosh, it's been there. The blood and water's been there all the time. I can't believe how long that has been there. Wow. Was pretty sure that was just a Dr. V. That game took 48 minutes. Holy shit, chat. Why not draw before Kushik? Because I had 0 cards. Oh, right, yeah, you noticed that. Thank you. Okay, well, we were like... Oh, let's see if this person is... Whoops, wait a second. Leave, join, as runner. Hey, do you mind being on stream? Yeah, that got pretty close. Like, if we could have stolen that last oboe, I'm down. Excellent. Right. Let's just... Acme. Is this fine? I don't know. I've got 3 simul chips and 3 propellers, and not really any other good ways of getting through data wards. But maybe we can just win off Kushuks. We probably only need to access 3 agendas. This is... Bankar is good in the opening. I'm going to keep it. That's our way through data wards. We're going to take 4 net damage to the face so many times. That's a lot of money. That is a lot of money. Okay, let's draw twice. Yeah. Yeah. Draw a card. Yes, please. Okay. This is actually fine. What we're going to do is we're going to draw 1 Kushuk into our hand at all times. Yes, I should have a turbine. 100%. We have talked about this. I still want to try with Leech, but it's like whether... The fermenter's good, but whether like a single fermenter, which it's not great pulling a fermenter with... Sandberg is fine as long as we're on Bankar, so Sandberg is potentially fine. If this on R&D is a Chrysium, then we're not fine. We're in fact very much not fine. Let's draw. Oh, I shouldn't have drawn because I have 3 cards in hand. That's just bad play. Terrible. Okay. We probably run this. I'm gonna lose a Kushuk doing so. So maybe I draw first. Well, that's actually quite a good way of dealing with things. Once over. We'll pay 3. Break a data ward for 4 credits, which feels... Oh, we don't have enough credits to steal a Bologna. It was an NGO anyway! We'll put down an Aesop so that... we can't pull misdirection here, so quite bad. Okay. Do they give us money? No. Boo. Do we want to sell this? Yeah, we kind of do. We'll say no server here. So we want to end up with 3 cards in hand. That is not too hard to do. We're going to do this, We'll run HQ now, just in case. We probably have to steal this. I think we steal this now. And now we can't match their cards. Going to take a credit. Haven't seen... Don't get hard hitting used last turn. We 100% could have got hard hitting used last turn. So we're not going to get hard hitting used this turn. Right? Yes. Excellent. Okay, so now we potentially just need to land 2 Kushuks. Whatever this is terrifying, because if this is a Void, it's really bad for us. If this is an Chrysium, it's really bad for us. And I don't know what else you play. Maybe a, what's his face? Trashy program, Trashison. I think I want to call HQ here. We're not going to pawn anything. Do I want to try and get my, like, draw? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to draw. Okay, that's fine. We'll do this. We'll do this. We'll draw 1 more card. Okay. Misdirection is, like, at least be pretty safe. So it kind of looks like a Void deck, right? This is interesting. What's this card? This is completely blanking the data ward. Well, do we run here? I think we probably do. Thing is, I want to put down this misdirection and the symbol chip, and I think I need both. So I could put them both down, run. If it then turns out to be a data ward, then I'm going to need to break. Otherwise, I'd die. But it's more likely to be a Hydra, right? Or it's a funhouse thinking. It must be a funhouse. So that is great. That means that we can hush their funhouse. So maybe I'll just run this. I'm going to put down a misdirection because I don't want to lose it. And I want to be able to pull something here. I'm pretty sure we can just bounce from the D-res, from the on-ret, from the on encounter. Uh-huh. Sick. It's a Henry Phillips deck. Okay, well that makes sense. This is Henry Phillips. Wow, we're not actually breaking these subs though. Okay. We'll let them fire. But now we need to bounce out. But now we can hush this, which is hilarious. That's very funny. And then the server does nothing. Does nothing. We can't get through this right now, so we'll jack out here. We'll remove a tag, we'll take a credit, and we'll draw a card. We kept our Hushuk, which is excellent. We did lose a symbol chip, which is bad. So this is a Henry Phillips. This is going to be like Funhouse into Data Ward or something like that. But that's absolutely fine. We've got the perfect tech for this. Banker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tempting, but we'll call no server for this one. Okay, let's draw some cards. We'll draw, we'll draw, we'll draw. I don't want to have two of these in hand at the same time. That's a bit of a shame. We do just need to like get some money down now. Okay, card in here. Probably Rashida. We're going to call HQ just for the fun of it. Who TF is Henry Phillips? So I've played this card before in a Chief Slee Acme deck, which the idea was like if they run into a data ward with a Chief Slee behind it, then they either break it and you make a load of money, or they don't break it and you get 4 Slee counters. Oh no! That's exactly what I don't want to happen. Draw, draw. This is not ideal. So now we're going to actually have to like break the ice on R&D. We also need to find an SMC so that we can put our hush at a moment's notice. Okay, icing up everywhere. We'll tick this down. We'll call HQ again. We want to make them think that we're a bit focused on HQ. so that they don't put too much more ice on R&D. But I'd assume that this is all the ice they're putting on here. I assume this is like Funhouse into Data Ward. Withdraw. There's an SMC. That's really, really good for us. So now we have 1, 2, 3. I've had this nuker all this time and haven't been using its draw. I guess let's just save it us keeping it as a 1 cost, right? And then that'll make me feel less dumb. I'm not getting lat. I'm not going to get lat for ages, unfortunately. We're going to put down the SMC. We're going to put down an Eca. We're just letting them score out this Bologna. That's fine. I think they've got another agenda in HQ. So actually, next turn, we can slam through here quite happily. Daily cast can tick. We'll Aesops for daily cast at this point. Bankar call HQ. Kind of want to pop the cell SMC. Actually saying, well, you probably have played every whack card ever. Potentially true. Where did we call HQ? I'm kind of tempted to charge HQ here because we can lose quite a bit of this hand without me being that upset. If we lose like all 3 Hushuks though, then we are boned. I should have called R&D this turn. It would have been much better. If I pop this telework, do I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I still have. It's like I don't want to get the hush out now because then they'll know. But I want to have the MU spare so that I can just maybe install this Eula just so I can sell it, really. That just feels terrible. Let's just get the clot in the bin in case they're on 15 minutes. Wow. So what is this? Do we find out? Or do we Hushuk R&D? I think we probably Hushuk R&D here, right? We think this is another Henry Phillips? I think I've got enough money. And I've got a propeller in the bin if it comes to it. I've got an Eca that can deal with Hydras quite nicely. So let's go casts. Can I sell this? Did I work this out last time? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to pull out a Hush almost definitely, or a propeller, or both. So I think I can sell this. We're going to call R&D. We're going to Hushuk R&D. Let's go. Just don't be a Chrysium. Please don't be a Chrysium. Please, 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 please. Don't be a Chrysium. I need to like wait for them to res first before I go any further. I'm pretty sure this is right because I don't want to encounter. I need them to res before I encounter, and if I click continue to movement, then it encounters, right? Okay, they're thinking, yeah. So there's a good chance as well that this is like a second Foth, if they're really thinking. They might just be doing the maths, because Hydra is 10. And if it fires, they're not going to get money back. No further action. If this turns out to be a Chrysium, I will be very upset. Um, I want to make sure I don't go too far too quickly. Okay, yeah, I'm in the right place. Woo! That's a big boy. Thinking. Okay, so I can get through here for 3 credits, which feels pretty good, right? Do I want to do that, or do I just want to take 3 to the face? So I pop the self-modifying code. I get out a hush, which would be 3. I put the hush on the fourth. I pull the propeller in with the simul chip. Break the Chiashi. I think that's correct. And then keep the other Hushuks in my hand. I still have money for a Bologna, which is good. Like, they are on some big barriers, let's say. They didn't res, so... Oh, that's interesting. There's a chance that I actually want to steal the post-truth here to not give them the sender message. And... Oh, they're on ganked. That's a ganked on R&D. I think I want to steal the post-truth. Right? Feels like a weird but possibly correct play. We shall see. Can I go back? Can I go back? I could go back. Not quite. So my thinking is that I could Palangi this, put the Eker on it, but then I won't have enough credits to steal Bologna. So let's draw. That would have been good. I think it's still good, but we'll draw one more. That's better, actually, right now. Again, had a Nuka. Could have clicked a Nuka. Let's say I was saving 1 costas. Okay. We challenge that, right? How many NGOs have we seen? Just 1. Can they score? Can I allow to score another one? Can we get in here? Is a really good question. Let's say SOPs for propeller. I think we just call R&D and we go again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seems right. Hit this. Hit this. This time we probably just take the damage. If they don't res here. Did realise that I didn't check that we had 4 cards in hand. We do have 4 cards in hand. I maybe should have hit Nuke. No, I guess because then I'd have less than 6. I do want the 6 and 28. Okay, so they have to think again, which is really good because it means that this is almost. I'm assuming this is a Hydra, and if they res anything big here, then we check server one because server one does very little right now. It's going to do a potentially a damage, and we potentially lose one. That is actually a very good res. Thinking. Okay, so we get to save our Kushuk, which is cool. Don't think we're gonna need our oiler, but like if we just run into a thimble rig, we'll be upset. Feels like this is no, it's not all barriers because they got fourth. So we definitely want this somewhere. Can we just lose the Beth? I think we can lose the Beth right now. Maybe we'll keep the oiler. So this is going to fire. Unfortunately, both of them fire, including the end of run if the runner is tagged, even though... Oh, no, we technically are tagged, so... So now we have to do some shenanigans to get in, which I think is still worth it. Let me just maths. So we move the Eco onto here, which costs 2. We boost it twice, which costs 4, so that's 6. And we break it. We break 3, so that's 9. Oh, we're going to be left with 5 credits. I am right here, right? I think so. That's enough. That's enough maths. 9, I think, leaves 5 credits. Sentry. Oh, you were right. You were right. I can't do maths. Okay, let's see 6. Yeah. Oh, there's this is CTZ. No way. No way. What's up? Just want to say what we've been finding with Dexter Stream. Shout out to CTZ shouting out. Anytime, my dude. Damn, I haven't seen CTZ play or stream at least for a while. Big fan. So hopefully you're watching this on a rerun. But yeah, that's always an incredibly enjoyable streams, and I think doing something in a style which absolutely no one else is, which is pretty great. Right, let's streaming very illegally. I still can't spell illegally. Yeah, let's pull up a. Problem is, I haven't got my sounds on. So Henry Phillips was this card, right? Which is it's like very much card number 40, like 50 and 51 in an Acme deck. I feel, but this is like pretty broken in Acme. Especially if you can make like in like void type Acme lists, if you can make them run through a data ward like 2 or 3 times, and there's a Henry Phillips in the server, then you make a ton of money. Now you have to be able to res it and res a data ward, and they have to actually break it. And that's why I was playing it in like in a Chief Slee deck, because if they didn't break it, then you got all the Chief Slee counters. But I found it pretty good in Acme, and then they kind of have to trash it. I don't think it was massive to trash. Yeah, it's only 2 to trash, which I guess is like not the best, but like kind of good enough. And especially, yeah, I find this like a fun card. Yeah, Seabass, too right. Like I was worried that he'd kind of disappeared off the edge of the world for a while, but maybe not. Okay, we've got R plus. Who knows what R plus is up to nowadays? Oh, I know what it might be up to. I saw someone playing. We have to mulligan this. This is much better. Someone was playing or posted a better citizen program R plus deck, which looked absolutely disgusting. I know Brad from the Drop Bears was kind of thinking about better citizen program R plus. The other day. Oh, I have to trash that. Because otherwise they score out their Aries, right? Do I take a credit here? I think I actually draw. Because I really need to find a misdirection very, very quick. I think taking a credit, I don't think I beat the trace. So Diesel, don't find it. Probably dead. Let's do this. Hope I don't die. What can we throw out? Probably the casts. We'll draw a card. It's not a misdirection or an SMC. Hopefully they're not on Market Forces. They are not on Market Forces. Well, they haven't found that yet either. So that's good. We'll probably run that. Let's draw one. Okay, we'll run this. That can stay. We'll run Spin Doctor and get rid of it. And then we'll run the top of R&D. That's bad. We've got a clot. Nothing we can do with that clot. I think we probably get rid of the clot and we'll get rid of this. We'll draw a card. We're still not finding misdirection. It's gonna feel bad. Ugh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We can draw. Not great. Put 3 down. I could just clear the tags. That's such a better idea. But like, I'm just such a shaper that I don't want to pay to do it. Is there a chance? What's the chance that they can res this? Actually, quite high now, right? It's going to be an IP block, and then we take another tag. Because I could into the depths into HQ, but almost all their ice costs 2. I think I put the Bankar down and kind of force them to trash it. Let's just keep drawing. Yeah, just clearing the tags would make a lot of sense, but it's working out for me right now. I am not dead yet. So now, let's call HQ and we'll go find misdirection. I think I'll put down a single chip first. We're going to lose all our Kushuks. Can we Kushuk first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, not now. We've called HQ. I think the symbol chips are maybe more important. Maybe not. Let's just go HQ. Show me your ice. Oh, no ice. We'll install misdirection. Steal a GFI. Don't mind if I do. Clear 4 tags. And then we can play this. Okay, we can play a game now. I feel like they're probably going to be on you know, fast advance in terms of watching my doodads. Do we Hershuk here? Do we like draw one? Yeah, it was pretty risky. There's also like Shaper just doesn't have the econ to bounce back from like clearing 4 tags manually. We'll call HQ. I don't think I'm running these yet. I'm gonna like draw. That's pretty good. Draw. That's pretty good. This is probably better than this, right? Ah, I forgot about Lat. I've been playing quite badly as Lat today. I guess I should have put the symbol chip down. I feel like they're on fast advance, so I should have put the symbol chip down so that I can at least like clot. Okay, they're drawing. They have more of a hand now, which is good for us. We'll say HQ again. We'll draw once. That's potentially very good against any NBN deck. We can put down a symbol chip, draw one more and creative. So let's draw first. That's fine. We want that in the bin, really. Make sure they don't res a spin doctor. Okay, so now we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. So next turn we Hishuk. Interesting. We could put the hush on it in case it's a ping. This feels like they're going to be playing very. Might put a hush on it actually. Like everything in NBN has is an issue. News teams, excellent. Hushuk is very good against news teams. Yeah, see, ping, funhouse, all of these can be hushed very well. We'll take GFI. Don't mind if I do. Draw one, hit this, make sure they don't spin doctor, end the turn. Draw a card. Okay, Marnie, makes sense. Makes sense. We have a link. Thank you very much. Do we have to check this in server 5? Do we just Hushuk again first? I think we probably Hushuk first. They didn't res last time. They're not going to res this time. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's still good. We'll do this. We'll go here. Maybe should have dieseled first. Armani could be an issue. We're going to steal all the GFIs. Do this. Oh, this is for like the worst one steal, right? Because of, well, I guess all of our stuff is 1. What's the chance? Do we care? Do we care about any of this? No. Kind of shouldn't have even boosted for trace last time. Our entire rig is one cost. How excellent. In fact, if you put like these are really bad, like we could actually get this down to a point where it's negative. Like Armani does work for us, which is hilarious. I think we can probably draw a card and I think we probably draw and put down a symbol chip again. The other thing would be to get this daily cast going, but I feel like they're going to start wheeling stuff out. So let's draw one and symbol chip. We can draw. Telework's great. Oh, that's Rashida. That's fine. So if you've been playing, if you played a bit of LAT, then you kind of get why telework can be pretty fun. Yeah, I know, Diogene. Tell me about it. I've been having fun all week with this. We're on 6. We have played 2 Kushuks, so like we just need to find our last Kushuk. We might check stuff this turn. But then again, do we need to? Because we kind of want to avoid news teams like pretty significantly. So let's call R&D. Oh, I think we... Do we go for it here? If we spend 3... I think we're going to go next. I think we're going to be a bit safer and go next turn. There was Harmony in the deck. I took the Harmonies out of the deck. It was not worth it. You see, I think it's correct to not play the daily cast here. We'll throw out the Ngolo. We'll throw out one Bankar. We will, as long as they don't do anything, draw a card. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we win next turn, but we'll see. Okay, this feels a bit combo-y, right? We pull back the Hush immediately. I think we do. Let's go. We'll put down a symbol chip just in case. We might put down a Nuka. No. Let's just go. We'll find something here. Yeah, there we go. GG. Smashed it. Hush means they don't res any of their ice. And we've kind of got some pretty good... we've got Clot and things like that. It very much looks like they were going to be doing some pretty mean fast advancing, I reckon, at some point. That's exactly the kind of game which I like. We just put a bunch of pressure on R&D, and they can't actually, like, we can score more points than they. Let's try that again. We can just find the agendas before they can do whatever they're planning to do going sideways, even if we just ignore their board. Streaming. YouTube and Twitch. Don't tell the Knox. I think I did ask about Diogenes' name the other day. It's after a philosopher, right? I think. I can't remember if that was exactly why, but I remember that being that coming up in chat when we were talking about it. Okay, we still haven't put Turbine in the deck. We felt like we kind of could have used it. I probably should just put the Leech in. Makes it makes like it kind of makes more sense, right? It's one cost. Ognic Vibrations. What a name. CTM. Okay, this feels like a pretty bad start. This feels just about okay. Cool. I was going to say, I kind of want them to play one more card from their hand, because here we're going to do this, click this, we'll run and check this. Bladderwort deck. We've played against like exclusively yellow decks or decks with Bladderwort, and sometimes both today. We trashing this now? No. Do this. We'll draw a card. Early fermenter. Okay, so this is where like having the early fermenter is probably going to feel really good. What we should probably have is a Parisia. We don't. Nice. I mean, I don't have to worry about this Bladderwort yet, right? They can't res this ice, but if that's advanceable, that's quite clever in terms of advanceable ice in Bladderwort decks. But they've so we know exactly what it is because they clicked up to 5 so that they could res it. So it's a Mesnichesto. So we'll draw once. Okay, that's good. So we can put this down, hit this, whack that, draw a card. Feels fine. And then if they ever do drop down on their turn too much, then we'll run this and get rid of it. We can also stick a hush on this. Okay, so now we have to consider doing stuff. Maybe we just like, maybe we don't. Let's diesel and see what we get. Right, Bankar's excellent. We'll put him down. We'll put down two. I think we put down one symbol chip and one SMC. I guess the two symbol chips are kind of better. Draw a card. They can have a Rashida. Gives them loads of money. I don't mind you having money right now. It means that your Bladderwort is doing nothing but it's just a pad campaign. I'm happy with you having a pad campaign. We're already at 5 one costers here. We could just send it next turn. We want to get our SMC down first, really, so we can pull our misdirection before we run anywhere. Because they're going to be quite happy to dump all of their credits. Well, all except. Well, yeah, this is going to be tricky for them to so like as soon as they ever do dump a load into a hard-hitting news trace, probably going to run and get rid of that. We'll say server 2 here, just to like. Okay. We want to get a lat draw here, so I think we probably install this. Draw a card, and yeah, that feels fine. Make sure they don't res a Spin Doctor. Draw a card. Okay, now we've got 2 Kashyyyks in hand, which actually is a little bit worse. They have 2 Bladderworts, so that's worth dealing with sooner rather than later. So maybe we check these. server 2. And then we can always go and get rid of one of them. DBS can stay. Third Bladderwort. Can they duck it this turn? They're going to duck 2. 3. No, so I think we kind of go and get rid of them all next turn. We'll just hit this, gain a credit, draw a card. If they find a Nasex, then we're in more. I assume this is kind of like a free Bladderwort, free Nasex type deal that they've got going on. Okay, they purge. That's perfectly fine. We might just keep setting up then, because they can't dump any money. Like Bladderwort decks, if you don't run, then they normally don't have anything which they can kind of initiate a trace with to get rid of their money. So here we can just kind of draw. Hush is amazing. Like we can just put the hush here, and we know that it's going to do work. But I don't think we need to yet. So let's get some more drip going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the hush will make 6. We'll gain a credit. We'll draw a card. All 3 in hand is like slightly annoying, because now we probably actually want to break whatever this is. I mean, most CTM ice, I'm going to expect it to only have 1 or maybe 2 subroutines. It's going to be like IP block or probably turnpikes. But then again, we know that this is a, well, we don't know. We assume that this is a Messler chest foe. I'm pretty certain that that's what it is. It's the only thing that makes sense based on how they played it. That's interesting. So now we probably put the hush here and run here, I think. Let's call server 1. We're going to have to pull out our Euler. Hopefully this isn't like an endless Euler. I guess we can just propeller it. Style points if you score 7 points in one turn with triple Hoshuk. Yeah, I mean, that would be the other thing I'd like to do. I have got 20 credits. This fires unless I get a propeller. I think I just let it fire. Yeah, I thought I'd look like, I mean, I'm gonna lose a Hoshuk at this point, right? Got 3 out of 5. It's not gonna go well. But they probably res here. We go and get an Euler and break this for practically nothing. Could you do disable? Actually, they have to choose, right? So isn't implemented, but it'll stop you being able to use the counter. Luckily, this is a May ability, so that's all good. Gonna get in here for practically nothing. Still 15 minutes. we Hushuk. What's the chances this stops us? Resistor doesn't stop us. IP block doesn't stop us. Enigma won't stop us. I don't think anything stops us. Specifically, like a mess in the chest though stops us. I guess then we probably have to deal with these. So I think I'm just going to draw and gain a credit. No, I don't need to bring back a. I don't need to bring back the SMC. I don't have the. I don't have the MU for it either. Maybe I should have just gone for the style of triple Hushuk last turn. Probably reasonably likely, right? There's also probably stuff in HQ by now. The fact that propeller is great against resistor. That's good to know. The Master Chesvo now costs 4 to get through, which is not insignificant. We are dripping for a ton. I think we call R&D 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's whack one of these. Whack one of these. White space wouldn't have stopped us last turn. Could have gone for it. In fact, we'd have got through for free last turn. We steal a Bologna, I guess. We could just go back again, right? Do we go back again? Is that being a bit too greedy? Can we easily pull a misdirection if we need it? Yeah. The reason to go back again this turn is that they can't shuffle back to 15 minutes yet. But I'm not going to. Hopefully. Okay, yeah, I was going to say, hopefully they can't duck like a nut, because if they ducked enough to hit both these bladderworts and they hit the DJ and the Hushuk out of hand, then we are upset. What's the reason not to go back? Because I'm just playing it a bit more safe. Like, there's technically that very good reason just to try and win on that turn, but we do have to find specifically a Bologna, and we don't know really what their agenda makeup is at the moment. We are in like pretty good control of this game. Their board isn't like doing too much to me right now, so we can just keep like being shaper, doing shaper things, and kind of making a bit more of a late game engine. This is hilarious, but probably correct. So I think we're going to call HQ here, and we're going to into the depths into HQ. We might lose a Hushuk to it, but I don't think that's a problem. So we'll go. Where are you? Where are you, Steve? We'll do this. We'll go in here. We'll probably get a propeller. We have got the MU for it, right? Do I need to get down this pantograph? No, I haven't lost any other MU yet. That unfortunately actually has fire. I would have almost rather just for the trace fireness. Kind of died to snare here, I guess. Oh, he kept the Hushuk. Get in. He did lose the pantograph. Into the depths is going to pull a propeller. Let's get. I think we can get the two creatives. And we can just win. We can just win that way. GG. Nice. We lost that first game against PE, but that was going pretty bad from the start. But rest of the night went pretty well. Like I think this is a ton of fun, and it could definitely be adapted. Like I think this influence and this influence and this influence and probably the clot are all like set, because I think if you're not playing, like clot is a really good reason to play shaper right now, or Simmel chip in general right now, is so you can play clot. And this deck kind of wants to just build up until it can hook at you for the win, so letting you kind of do your thing early on while still having the safety of you're not going to be able to fast advance. Clot's pretty important, but there is two influence here which you can definitely play around with, and like whether leech Amakua might be really good. Like you've got Hush, which deals with IP blocks in that, which is normally an issue for that, and might clear up a lot of the rest of your problems here. Like I think that's probably the next thing I'm gonna try. Like maybe I try leech Amakua, take out the Ngolo. Like we didn't install the Ngolo once tonight, and like I think it's only there as like a safety net, but I'm not totally sure we need it. I'm really liking, like I think our programs here are the kind of programs which we want. We want things which are cheap and then break very, very cheaply, because we can always break big stuff with Bankar. I mean, if we wanted to get really funky, then you could add in a copy of one of my favorite underplayed cards. You could play this. Is my face covering that? I'm not sure. You could play a Cordyceps, because then you can move their ice around. I mean, we could play this in Tau. Like maybe you just play this in Tau, and then you can even move their ice around. Bankar in Tau. Thing is, we do want the card draw from Lat, but Bankar in Tau, now that I think about it, pretty interesting. I mean, the problem is that the corps that care about ice don't generally care about agendas at the moment. So that's like potentially an issue. But yeah, Bankar in Tau. I'm going to think on that one, because there might be something pretty good there. But yeah, something like Cordyceps could be really hilarious. This is a great thing to pull off into the depths as well, because you've just made a successful run. You pull it out, you move the ice around. It's unfortunately an overcosted and like a bad card, and it's too much influence to put into like a freedom build, and it's a shame because I love this card. It's in one of my favorite shaper decks which I've ever built, which was actually pretty good. It was in Smoke. No, it was in Jez. It's in a Jez deck. It's great in there. But yeah, I think there's like plenty that you could play around with here. We could put Turbine in. Turbine's great. Again, I kind of haven't needed it. The Into the Depths have been like decent, and means that we only have to play two SMCs. You could possibly play a different console. Like Anacam doesn't quite feel right because we don't quite have enough events. Norpule was on Daredevil, which is cool, but I like to know what's in my hand before I run with Bankar. But I guess like we can always break, like we're Shaper, we have like a toolbox, so I guess there's always an option there. So maybe like Daredevil, and then that gives you like extra MU. That could be cool. I guess it's pretty expensive. It's like 5. Is there any other good? There's not much else that's good right now, right? There's You could play Mind's Eye. No, I'm joking. Yeah, this is pretty fun. I think like there's definite tweaks that you could do. You could probably play it at 59 cards because that's what everyone does nowadays. But I'll probably post this list. I might still be playing this. I'll have to think of something else to play by next week to do the stream. But like, I don't want to stop playing this because when I find a good Shaper deck, I just want to play Shaper because I do enjoy it so much. So yeah, I'm sure if you see me bouncing around JNet over the next few days, I'm probably playing a version of this, maybe trying to tweak it slightly, seeing what happens. But I think that's us done for tonight. Thank you all for sticking out. I hope the sound levels were okay. I'm going to look back over it and see what went wrong with my mic or my settings earlier, and hopefully clear that up for next week. And I hope you all have a good week. And yeah, ciao for now.